So, good morning, good morning, everybody. And once again, I'm here with my spirit guide, Grey Eagle, who is standing to my right side. Today, we are going to talk about healing, what it means for different people, what kinds of healing there are, because there are many kinds of healing. And we're going to talk a little bit about the process of healing. Um, Before I do that, I should say good morning to Chris and good morning to all of you. I'm very remiss in doing that. So good morning, everybody. Chris, do we have anyone tuned in yet, or am I talking to myself? I want to know.
We have a few people on right now, Rosemary. I suspect some others will log on once they know you're live.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to sort of dive right into this topic because if I sort of waste time and sort of taking questions and so on, we will be taking questions if there is time later. But you can always, if you're a person who misses this show or only comes in halfway through, or if you want to see it again, you want to take notes or whatever it is you want to do, you can then revisit, go to my YouTube channel, and you can find it there. So if you're a person who has come in late or is worried that you won't remember everything that I've said, you can always go back. And the good thing about going back is you can play it and pause and play and pause and play and pause. So you can sort of make those notes that are important to you. So healing, what is healing? Um, you know, a lot of people feel that in order to get healing, it needs to be a hands-on or a one-on-one experience with the healer. And a lot of people, and I know that a lot of my patients feel so much better and so much easier very often if I'm there with them, if they can actually feel my hands on them and we are present, we are together and present. However, a lot of my patients who it's simply not possible because they live on the other side of the world, they might be in India or they might be in China or whatever, wherever it is they are. A lot of people we give healing. We do, I'll have a healing session with someone, and then, as I've said, they might be on the other side of the world. And how then do we connect? How can we connect with them and make sure that they're getting the best and the most beneficial out of the meeting? And that is very simple because I'm able to talk people through the process of healing. I'm able to talk them through what I want them to do, and working on a certain vibrational level, which is very important, especially with healing or with talking to people in the spirit world or whatever it is you're trying to do when you're trying to connect with that higher power, that let's call it that God force, that higher power that exists, that universal God force that is out there. The most important thing, one of the most important things we need to learn to do is to connect with the vibrational level of the universe. And with my students, I often will say to them, okay, I'm going to teach you how to raise your level of consciousness. There's that phrase, right? Raising your level of consciousness. And what on earth does it mean? When I say that, when I talk about raising your level of consciousness, when I talk about connecting with the vibrational level of that higher power, that universal God force, what on earth does it mean? What on earth am I talking about? Now, for those of you who have joined or joining this show today, who have been hopefully wanting healing for yourselves and wanting me to do a healing exercise, you can find that on YouTube. Today, not every time we do this, but today I thought it would be much better to focus on the process of healing and how we do it and how it possibly works and so on. But for those of you who want healing, pay attention to my voice, pay attention to just the sound of my voice, because if you're paying attention and you're really listening and you're listening carefully, what you're actually doing is by listening, tuning in, you are focusing and connecting with my vibrational level, which even as I'm talking to you, even as I'm explaining things to you about healing, will give you that healing sense, that healing touch that you're wanting, that you feel that you need as I'm talking. You don't have to close your eyes, lay your hands on a person, focus on, I mean, we do that and it works beautifully. And so many people get so much out of that process that they feel that, okay, yes, I'm getting it, I'm good. But even as I'm giving consultations to people, or if I'm in a large hall, there could be thousands of people in the hall, just listening to my voice, listening to where it's coming from, listening to the fact that I'm already tuned in with Grey Eagle as I'm talking to you, is a healing process all on its own. It's not a usual process. People don't usually think of it as a healing process, but when I give consultations to people and I'm talking to their loved ones in the spirit world, everything is energy. Everything about this world of ours, everything about this universe of ours is about energy and connecting our energy. And as I'm talking to you, even now as I'm talking to you, I'm hoping that I am connecting and you're connecting to my energy. I'm connecting to your energy. And so we get this perfect harmonious level of vibration. Some of you may want to just sit back, kick back, close your eyes and just listen to me talking. You don't even have to watch me, but just listening to my voice and listening to the things that I'm saying and remembering where this information is coming from. If you like, a sort of a tutorial that we're doing today. Listen to where it's coming from, because Grey Eagle is right with me, giving me his energy, which is also flowing to you as you're listening to me. And this is one of those times when we automatically will, without even thinking about how we do it, we will raise our level of consciousness. In other words, we're raising our level of awareness. We are becoming, even as we listen carefully, as we, if you like, close your eyes and listen to the voice that's coming over here talking to you, you're automatically becoming so much more aware of what's being said, how it's being said, the energy that we use when we say these things, when we talk about these things. And you are, without even realizing it, you are raising your level of awareness, you're raising your level of consciousness so that you can tune in, connect, get the vibrations going, get the vibrational level to match mine, to meet with mine. And sometimes it is helpful for people if they close their eyes and listen, because they feel, there are less distractions if you just close your eyes and you just listen to the words and listen to me speaking to you. Excuse me. If you listen to that, then a lot of people feel that they can focus more fully and get more out of the experience that we're having today than those of you who are watching, attentively listening to me. Of course, also, if you're one of those people who, see, this is a weird thing, because we can raise our level of awareness, raise our level of consciousness in so many different ways. And some of you might feel that watching me, you notice I've talk with my hands, right? But you notice, and you can often notice by watching me and paying attention to what you're seeing, so many people will actually be aware that my aura, even as I am talking to you, my aura changes because we're talking about healing. We're talking about the process of healing. And most of us know that the color blue is that, weirdly, again, you can ask questions, you're going to have time to ask questions, but the color blue, and I use colors in my healing, I like to use colors in my healing, and the color blue is the universal healing color, that beautiful bright sky blue that warms and just makes us feel good when we stand under it, or if we're lying on a beach, lying under a blue sky, we immediately feel, oh yes, I love that. That's so nice. You feel something from it. So many of you, if you choose to keep your eyes open, it's your choice. If you choose to keep your eyes open, many of you might actually, as I'm talking to you, raising your level of awareness, looking not at me, but beyond me, around me, surrounding me, you may actually be able to see an aura of some kind. For those of you who need that little bit of education, I think most people should know by now what an aura is. But the aura is our energy, the person's energy. And as I'm talking about healing, my energy is exuding out, coming out of my body. The aura, or the energy field that surrounds me, that surrounds every one of us, my energy field, as I'm talking about healing, is infused with blue. Obviously, blue is the healing color. Gold is the spiritual color. White is the pure spiritual essence. Some of you, very often when I'm on stage and people come up to me afterwards in the audience and they say, I don't know if I was imagining, Rosemary, but you had this sort of gold light around you. That doesn't make me special. It makes the subject that I'm talking about special. It makes the feelings, my feelings and my energy special, because when we're talking about spiritual things and spiritual awareness, of course, my aura is going to be infused with those colors, the golds, the blues, the white, the bright white light that surrounds us, and so on. Years ago, painters, I'm trying to think of any one particular one, but off the top of my head I can't, but years ago, painters, when they painted religious pictures, they would always paint this sort of gold aura around. And it wasn't because that was the thing to do that told you it was spiritual. It was because the artist was actually seeing a spiritual person, actually seeing someone who is so beautifully spiritual in that moment that their aura shines through, and the artist, being sensitive and being aware and painting, raising his level of awareness, his or her level of awareness, will see that gold, that beautiful golden light that emanates from the person that they are painting. So, you know, if you are a sensitive person, you're much more able to see, you're much more able to be aware. And obviously artists, especially when they're working, and especially if they're working with a particularly beautiful or spiritual subject, they are going to be able to see that and to see auras. So even as I'm talking to you, some of you not even realizing that you can do it, some of you may be even noticing the change behind me. You're not seeing the bookshelves and all that stuff on there. You're seeing what is surrounding me. In other words, you have raised your awareness. You have raised your level of consciousness to a point that you can see beyond the ordinary physical being, and you're seeing the aura or the energy field that is surrounding me as I'm talking to you. So whether you're listening to this with your eyes closed, that's fine. And let me tell you also, even with your eyes closed, you might actually feel or sense or be aware in some way of the energy that is around me. So even with your eyes closed, you may see this beautiful blue or golden light or whatever it is you're seeing. I don't want to tell you what you need to see because everybody's experience is different. But even with your eyes closed, if you're paying attention, if you're listening, if you're into this, if you're involved in this, if you're tuning your senses, if you are trying to stay aware of my voice and what it is that I'm trying to say to you, you will actually be able to see something. You might not understand what it is, but when you see something, if you see it, speak it. That's what you have to do. And so again, we'll have question time, and some of you might be able to tell us, did you see anything? Or not just see with your eyes, but did you feel something? Or were you aware of something? Using that word aware, are you aware? Raising your level of consciousness to become more aware of what is going on. It's not just, just what you see here in black and white, or as is today red. You're not just seeing what is put in front of you. You're seeing beyond the physical and into the spiritual. And this is a process that we use to raise our level of consciousness. Now, being able to see, talking to me like this, or being able to have a one-on-one in-person healing session is great. It's really, really great. But we can also send healing. How on earth can we do that? Well, every thought that we have is a tiny pulse of energy that goes out into the universe. So if we have thoughts that are negative and perhaps, maybe bitter or angry or whatever, those thoughts they're going to go out. They leave you. That energy that you're creating, it has to go somewhere. And it often goes to the person or the people you're thinking of. That angry energy goes towards them. But what we have to remember is it's our energy. We're sending it out. It's a natural process. We don't even do it necessarily consciously, but when we do it consciously, it's far more powerful. But we do this consciously or subconsciously. But we send out our energy. We send out those little thoughts. Those little tiny thoughts are like little bubbles of energy that go out into the universe, and they reach the person or the people or the situation that you're thinking of at that time. The thing about our energy is, because it's ours, we might send it out, but it's going to come back. So every time we think negative or angry or bitter thoughts or whatever, we're sending out that negative energy, and out it goes and out it goes. And it's a little bit like, when you roll a snowball and it gathers and it gathers, the more it goes out there, the bigger it gets and the bigger it gets. Those are our thoughts. They go out and they're rolling through the universe and rolling through and hitting their target. But then they're rolling back to us, getting again bigger and bigger, and wham, smack, we get that energy right back. And if that energy is negative, if that energy is not at all positive in any way, if it's an angry or a bitter energy, and I think this is so appropriate for what's happening in the world today, and especially in America today. If we're thinking all those awful, angry, horrible thoughts that are going out there and snowballing on the way and getting bigger and bigger, Our energy is like a boomerang. It's going to come back to us. It will hit us right smack wherever it, goes in there. And unfortunately, this can cause us to become sick. Can cause us to become more angry and more bitter, because that snowball effect is now hitting us and creating in us hate and anger and bitterness more and more. And the more we think those thoughts, and the more we send them out, and the more they come back to us, the more we just want to hate or to be angry or to whatever it is. So negativity. So likewise, or should I say opposite to that, if we're thinking as healers do, as we do when we're giving healing, and as I'm doing even as I'm talking to all of you, as I'm thinking positive, I'm thinking healing. So I'm thinking love, I'm thinking kindness, I'm thinking gentleness. And all of those thoughts gathered together are going to go right out there, and they're going to go through the universe. And as they go through the universe, they're going to hit all of you who are listening, all of you who are paying attention, all of you who need healing. And they're going to come at you regardless. You won't be able to stop it. They're coming at you because I'm sending it out deliberately, positively. I'm sending all of this lovely, warm, healing energy out to you. And I'm thinking kindness, I'm thinking gentleness, I'm thinking healing. I'm thinking of that one person. You may know who I'm talking to now. That one of you who is sitting in the chair, feeling lonely, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, and it's coming at you. My good, warm, healing energy is coming at you. And as it's coming at you, it's going to envelop you, and it's going to make you feel, wow, I like, this is good. How can I possibly think negativity if she's sending me, little old me sitting in my armchair? Or what about me who's sitting in my office trying to work, but I'm listening to this and I want so much to get this good and this positive energy, and I'm sending out to all of you who need it. Now, how do I know who you all are? How do I know that I'm sending energy out to all of those of you who need it? Well, I don't, but Grey Eagle does, and God does, and trusting in God and handing my energy and joining my energy, my good, positive, powerful, healing energy, handing it over, joining with that universal God force, joining with that healing energy of the universe, that beautiful God force that is out there. And so I connect with that God force as I'm sending it out to you. And I don't necessarily know that it's you particularly sitting in that chair or walking through the street listening to it, or sitting by your office desk, or whatever it is you are doing. I don't know, but I trust that God knows. I trust that Grey Eagle knows. I trust that that energy, that beautiful healing energy that I am creating even as I'm talking to you, and sending my love even as I'm talking to you, I am trusting absolutely that God knows exactly what to do with that. Before we begin healing, now this is only me. I'm only talking to you about me, right? I can't say what other healers do. I know what my students do because I've taught them, and hopefully I've taught them really well. But before I begin my healing, and even before we sat down here, already my mind is working. I want to do the best that I can do. I want to be the most positive that I can be. And so I always will say a prayer, dear God, please allow me to join with you, to connect with you, to join my energy with yours, to give my energy to you, to use in the best way that you see fit. Then I always say that prayer. And I always end the prayer with saying, dear God, I will to thy will, because it's not for me to decide where this loving, positive, beautiful energy is going, because I don't know enough. I'm just a tool. I'm this simple vessel creating this fabulous, wonderful healing energy. And out it's going into the universe, and out it's going to all of you listening. Whether you have your eyes closed or open, it's fine. Out it's going to all of you. And God takes that energy along with all of the other positive, wonderful healing energy from lots of other people, whoever they are. And they're taking that. The universe is absorbing that. It's absorbing that positive, good energy. And out it goes, and it touches all of you. And hopefully brings you love and comfort and a feeling of warmth and a feeling that somebody cares. Even if you think you're on your own and you're depressed or you're lonely, you're thinking at the moment, nobody cares about me, I'm all by myself. I mean, I've had those moments. I know how you're feeling. I know I'm sitting here smiling about it, but I truly have had those awfully, awfully depressed and terrible, terrible thoughts that everything's going wrong and I'm all by myself and so on and so forth. But at the same time, I know that I'm not by myself, because my faith in God, my faith in that universal God force that is out there is so powerful and so strong. And I've never in my entire life, even as a child, and even at my lowest moments, and there have been some low moments, even at my lowest moments, I have known absolutely that I am not forsaken, that there is this unbelievable God force that surrounds us, and there is Christ who holds us. And whether you believe in Christ or whether you believe in whoever else, it doesn't matter. For me, it is Christ is truly my savior, because when I was a little girl, he was around for me a lot, and I saw him and I talked to him and I had lots of conversations with him. Yes, I know some of you might think it sounds crazy, but for me, that faith that I have has never, ever, ever wavered in all of the years, which are a lot, that I've been on this earth. So as I'm talking to you and talking to you about sending out my thoughts and my healing prayers, which I'm doing as I'm talking to you, never once am I in doubt. Never once I am in doubt that the universe is absorbing my positive energy and connecting that energy with that God force, which is going to go out there and to give healing and to give power to all of you who are willing and ready to absorb it. And you can reject it if you, that's doubtful really. You can't reject. No, you're not going to reject my energy. No. You're not going to reject that God force that is out there, even though you might want to. You can't really reject it. It's going to hit you right in the eye. It's going to give you that good, positive, wonderful, warm feeling. Remember, as I'm talking to you, remember to pay attention to what you're seeing that is beyond me, what you're feeling that is beyond me, what you are aware of that is beyond me. And take notice. Can you see any colors? Can you see any auras changing? You may or you may not. But as long as you keep practicing this, and the more you practice it, and the more you allow yourself to absorb this healing, the more able you're going to be able to, here we go, raise your level of consciousness to the point where you become much, much more aware of what there is out there that is beyond our human existence, and that is beyond even our wildest imagination. Now here I am, I'm sending all of this energy out there. I mean, off it goes. I'm handing it to God, and he's going to do what he wants with it. And I know that that God force that surrounds us, going to do the best it can do, reach the most people it can reach. But at some point, wait for it, you can have it for a while, but at some point it's my energy, and so it's a boomerang effect. It's coming back. I better make sure it's good, because I don't want negative energy. I don't want negative energy today or tomorrow or any day for the rest of my life. So even as I know that I'm sending it out and my energy, yes, of course it's going to be depleted. It's coming back. So I am going to be replete again. I'm going to get my energy back. And as long as that energy is good and powerful and positive, that energy is going to not only give healing to all of you who are absorbing it, and all of you who are, gulp it down, be greedy with it, take it as much as you can, be selfish with it, and have as much as you like, because when it comes back to me, you see, as I send it out, remember what I'm saying, it's growing bigger and bigger, like the snowball effect. It's joining with that universal God force that is out there, which is huge. So you're getting this huge amount of energy. You can take it, have as much of it as you want. It doesn't matter if there are 1,000, 10,000, 20, it doesn't matter how many. Just take it, suck it up, absorb it, breathe in through your solar plexus, breathe in, and just use it and take it and be thankful for it and grateful for it, because boy, oh boy, if there's anything we should ever be grateful for, it's good thoughts and positive energy that are coming our way, which are going to make us feel, even in our darkest times, it's going to make us feel somebody loves us, somebody cares about us. We're not on our own. We are here, and God is giving us this energy, and healers, people all over the world are sharing out their energy with that universal God force, and you're getting it all that positive stuff that's coming to you. But I'm smiling and I'm happy, because I know that at some point today it's coming back to me. But as it comes back to me, remember, you think that what you're getting is powerful. Imagine how much more powerful it is when it comes back to me, like seriously, big time, because again, the snowball effect, and it keeps coming back and coming back. And this is how, as healers, we feed ourselves. We're being extremely selfish, really. I tell my healers all the time, the first rule is you have to be selfish with yourself. So before you're giving healing to others, you give it to yourself, and then there's more to share, and then out it goes, and then back it comes. So, it's really a very selfish exercise for me, although I want you to absorb it. I want you to have this wonderful experience. I want you to feel that healing that you're getting, that I'm giving. But also, I want you to smile. I want you to be bright. I want you to feel the light that surrounds you, that is that God force that is surrounding you. And I want you to absorb it and be greedy with it and take as much of it as you like. And it's coming back to me, because I've depleted my energy. Actually, that's not so true, because as I'm sending out energy, I'm building more energy, and so I've got more to give out. So I know that the more I give out, the more that I'm coming back. So remember, if you are a negative person sending out negative thoughts, and I hear people say this all the time, and it makes me very sad. People say to me, oh, the world today, the world today is so terrible. It's so awful. Well, actually, the world today and yesterday and the day before and way back into, because I'm British, we can go back far longer than many other countries. Europe is, we're old, but the world has always had awful things going on. the plague, the all sorts of things that have gone on. We've had wars, we've had plagues, we've had droughts, we've had, and on and on. The world has always had these troubles, and the people who survive and who stay healthy are those people who, despite the troubles of the world, remain positive, because the world rights itself and God takes care of us. And this is where faith comes in. You can be in a room full of people and you can say, how many of you have faith? And everybody's going to put their hand up. How many people believe in God? Everybody's going to put their hand up, especially when they come to see me. Remember, it's me I'm talking about now. I say to people, how many of you have faith? And put your hand up. But here is my question. We can all have faith. It's easy when it's easy. It's easy when we're not being tried, when we're not being tested. That's easy. That's easy faith. We can all have that. But when it gets harder and more difficult, we have to live our faith. And how many of us can do that? And a part of this healing process is to show you all and to teach you all that no matter what is happening in the world today, faith and faith in God and that universal God force surrounds us. So whatever is happening, we will find the strength to deal with it. And the more we are positive and the more we believe and the more faith we have in God, in a God force that keeps this universe turning and flowing and filled with energy, and the more we connect with that higher power, that phenomenal vibrational level, which is the good, positive stuff that God gives to us, that this universe gives to us, the more we connect with that and the more we remind ourselves of that, the stronger we become and the more able we are to deal with all of the awful stuff that is going on in our lives and has been going on in the lives of human beings for centuries and centuries. Nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is we call these things by different names. COVID, everybody was panicking about COVID, and look, nobody's even, or hardly anybody's even thinking about it anymore, because it wasn't as bad as we thought it. We thought it was going to destroy our world. But the stronger, the more positive we become, and the more we deal with these things, the more we realize that, yes, our bodies, we're getting older. Our bodies are going to fail us. Our physical attributes, you might, forget what we're talking about. We might lose our memory a little bit more. The other day I went into the kitchen determined to go for something and couldn't. Then when I got there, I'm thinking, why am I here? We all have those moments where we are frail, or our bodies start to fail us, or whatever it is. But the one thing that can stay strong, if you allow it and if you are positive with it, and if you give yourself healing thoughts and positive thoughts every day, the one thing that stays strong is our soul, which is totally and absolutely indestructible. As many of the people who come to me for consultations will tell you, or the testimonials that we have, our soul is indestructible. We can't die. Our bodies can fade away. Our physical self can just get, more and more old and infirm as we get older, or if we're sick, we lose certain faculties and capabilities. But our soul is what stays strong. And even as I'm talking, I can feel that energy that I've expended coming right back to me. That doesn't mean it's less for you. It just means it's coming right back to me. So be greedy with this. This is a process that we go through when we give healing. And throughout the let's say the tutorials that we're going to be giving when we do healing, I'm going to be talking more and more about the process of what happens to a healer, what's happening to me right now as I'm sending you all this energy. Am I feeling tired? Am I feeling depleted? Am I feeling exhausted? What happens when I'm done, etc., etc. And also I want to talk about how all of you can give healing to your own self and also give healing to others too. But it starts with positivity and belief, and a belief that we are never ever alone. So um, let's have some questions or some comments from people. Chris.
All right, Rosemary. Gary says, I was in a bad way last summer during a seminar in Connecticut. 60 seconds of Rosemary's hand on my shoulder completely turned my day around.
Well, yes, that's so true, Gary. And you were in a really bad way. Um, I did a seminar last year, and Gary, who I hadn't seen for ages, decided he was going to come hell or high water, no matter how ill he was, and he was very ill at that time, getting sicker and sicker. But he managed to arrive. Um, but he unfortunately couldn't stay for the whole seminar because he was so ill. But I think what I what I did, Gary, was I think I gave you just about enough healing energy to get you back to the hotel and get you settled and sorted. Well, I hope that that's what I did anyway. But yes, healing really, really works. Chris, keep going.
Annie says, Hi, Rosemary. I had my eye surgery, and just like you said, it went well. I hope it will be a one time surgery. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, and I'm so pleased. I hope you got some healing today.
Judith says, Thank you and Grey Eagle for sending your spiritual energy. I certainly need it, and I am soaking it up. I am
Oh,
thankful. A beautiful
oh,
blessing.
good for you. Good for you. Thank you, Chris.
All right, the question from Shamant. How can we learn to see people's auras and understand what the colors represent and their meanings?
Well, throughout this, as we do these little tutorials, I'm going to show you. We began today. How can you see auras? You have to become aware. You know, a lot of people can't see auras, so if you can't actually see them, that's fine. But um, you have to. You're not just seeing with your eyes. You're seeing with every part of you. You're seeing with every one of your five senses. So you might not actually see with your eyes, but you can see with your feelings, with your senses. You can sense that something is there, and it's the same thing as seeing. And of course, what was the second part of the question, Chris? Chris?
One second. Sorry, I have to scroll back up and find it. Let me give me. What are the colors represented
Right.
and their meanings?
And we are going to do all of that. However, if you go to my YouTube channel, you might, I think we've done that before, and you can see, and I talk to people about colors and the energy of different colors and how we can use different colors, because I like to use colors in my healing process. They give me something to focus on. They can help tremendously. But we will be doing more of that, and maybe even next week as we continue on. Colors are very important to us, and each color has its own type of energy. I know that sounds weird, but as I describe it to you and as I explain it to you through our tutorials, you'll understand, and you'll figure out the colors that you will need to do to give to infuse into your own aura and also to send out for healing for others.
All right, Jen says, would the healing make me sleepy? I feel I went very sleepy and then I surprisingly relaxed.
Yeah, yes. Now, not all healers, not all healing, should I say, or healers have the effect on people that I do, and it is known. And we when I ran my healing organization, and especially when we were in England, people would just be shocked because I'd only have to touch someone on the shoulder and they'd be out. They'd be. It's almost as if you relax to the point of not you sometimes people go right out. That's my energy, that's my positive energy. But yes, healing, it's sort of when you're receiving healing, it has a very calming effect, and it is almost as if you are sleeping and calm, and that's fine. And if you go to sleep, that's also fine. You're still receiving it, you're still getting it. So if you fall asleep through this program and you miss most of what I'm saying, you can always go to YouTube, go to my Rosemary Altea channel, and you can listen again. You might fall asleep again, but still you can listen again.
Rhonda says, this is a subject I've always been interested in. I like to think that when I send positive, that is sick. So I think I send positive energy when someone's sick, even though they have no idea that I'm sending the healing, that they
That's
do receive the healing.
without a doubt. It's without a doubt. If you join your energy, as I always do, because you know there are a lot of healers who are fabulous at what they do, but they could be a lot better if they had a little humility. Now I'll give you an explanation. I had a student who was, I mean, he was the walking epitome of what a healer should be. And his energy was incredible. He was beautiful. He was just, the energy just exuded from him. He had this wonderful, powerful healing energy. What he unfortunately did not have was he didn't have any humility. And it was so sad because, you try, I'm not sure you can teach people humility. I think people have to have an experience that teaches them humility, maybe. But no matter how much I tried with this guy, when he would have a patient, he was far more interested in hearing his own voice than he was in listening to the patient. And he would just start talking about him and what he did and how his experience was, and how great he found things, and so on and so forth. And so you can be the most natural healer in the world, but if you don't have humility, and when I say having humility, knowing that God is the source, that God force is the source of all of that energy, which is why I always say, dear God, here you go, take it. You take it, you use it, you do what you want with it, my will to thy will. In other words, I have no say in where or what or how that healing is working. But there are so many healers who think, well, I'm a healer, look at me, I'm a healer. And that's fine, and maybe it works, but I always find that if you join with that God force, then it's not about you, the healer, it's about the patient. This shouldn't be about me telling you how marvelous and wonderful I am, and the results I've had from healing, which we will talk about. And I know people like those stories. So we will talk about that from time to time through these little tutorials that we're giving here. But it's, you can't do it. You can't do it on your own. Well, you can, but eventually your energy will be depleted. It's not the same. So joining with that God force is very, very important, I feel, with healers. And I think that it makes a healer much stronger and gives them much more uh, have an ability to connect with on a vibrational level with your patients, whether they are standing right by you or whether they are miles and miles and countries away.
All right. Here's a question from Mandy.
Hi, Mandy.
Um, oh, wait a sec. It just scrolled. Um, Mandy wants to know about your Thursday shows. So I think you could say that in a minute while I go back and find this other question, which was really
All right.
important.
Well, every Thursday morning, from 11 until 12, we have a Thursday show. The Spirit World Sees All. You get to ask lots of people, get to ask lots of questions. We'll often have a topic that we talk about, but people can ask lots of different questions, and it's just a fun hour-long show. You can tune in; doesn't cost you anything, and you get it in the same way you're getting this show today. So, if anybody wants to join, you don't know how, you can do one of two things. You can either email my office, rosemary@rosemaryaltea.com, and put in the subject line shows or whatever, and Chris can send you a link. The best way to go about it is, I think, is to request to be put on the list for a newsletter. I promise we won't inundate you. We only send out maybe one or two newsletters in a week, even. Maybe less, actually, not even a week, a month maybe. We try not to inundate you, but you could always go to my website, which is, I forget, what is there?
RosemaryAltea.com.
See there, rosemaryltea.com. Go to the website. There is a little button on the website which says if you want to join the email list, just click the button and that will automatically get you on that email list. And again, it doesn't cost you a thing. We just try to share what we can with as many people as we can. Chris, keep going.
All right. So the question was from Sandra.
Okay.
Sandra says, I missed the beginning of this show. If I watch your replays, will I still get healing?
Without a doubt, without a doubt. This is, and you can go, Sandra. There are lots of healing shows that I've done, and you'll find them on YouTube. You'll find them on my channel. It works because what you're doing is, and you're not, this is what I'm saying, you don't have to be in somebody's presence necessarily. What you can do is you literally can connect by voice, by vibration. The universe, that universal energy that is out there, doesn't stop working because we've switched off. It's still working. And if you, as you're listening to all of this, and as you're listening to my voice, and I'm only speaking for myself here, I can't speak for other healers. I'm only speaking for myself. If you tune in, and all you have to do is to listen to my voice, and I describe at the beginning of this exercise how you can do that and what ways you can do that. And if you just listen and let the energy of my voice and the connection with that universal God force that is out there, which never, ever, ever stops working. You connect with vibration. Even as you're listening, you're connecting. There's a part of you, your soul, that is connecting with that higher God force, that force that is powerful and magical and wonderful, and you're connecting with it without even realizing it. So you don't have to see this live at all. You get healing every time you hear my voice, whether it's recorded or otherwise. You will, if you so want it, you will receive the healing that you need. So please try it, Sandra. Let us know how you did. I'm going to tell you, it'll be just the same as listening to this live. Okay, Chris.
Nomi says, lovely, lovely healing energy felt and accepted. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm getting it all back. You do know that I'm going to be so high this afternoon with all of this wonderful healing that I'm receiving. I know it's my own energy, but still, it's sort of coming back through the universe, connecting with all that positivity that's out there. It's going to be so, so good.
Rhonda says, I always use the prayer you have in your healing book. I love that prayer.
Yes, me too. Well, I use it all the time, and I use it if you go to YouTube, you can see all of the healing sessions. I tell you how to sit, to absorb the energy better. I tell you to use different colors and what they mean. So, if you're interested in this subject, there's lots and lots to view. And these tutorials are meant to try to help you to understand what it is that you're actually doing and what it is that you want to know. If you would like to put a question to us before the show, because when is the next one we're doing, Chris, of the healing show we're doing?
I believe it's on a Thursday toward the end of the month. We'd have to go onto the website and look at that.
Again, if you go to the website, you can check that out. But I forgot now what I was going to say. If you would like a request before the show, you can put in your requests, send them to the office, rosemaryaLtea.com. Just send them in and put in the subject line, request, and we can have your questions even before you come on. We can have those questions lined up and ready to go. We can't promise to answer all of them, but we'll keep a little log of the different questions that you have. So if you think of something in the week and you just want to write it down and think, I wonder if Rosemary will answer this one for me next time, we'll do our very best. You need to keep track of the website. So, go to the website, and my advice is get on the mailing list, because we send a newsletter out once a month with all of the different things that we're going to be doing this, for the following month. So, go to the website and email us and tell us you want to be on the mailing list. We'll gladly put you on there.
So speaking of that, Rosemary, next week, Wednesday the 19th, you've got the bottom brick exercise that's live at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then the healing that you just mentioned for the next time, if people want to send in questions,
Right.
that'll be the 27th at 4 p.m.
Okay.
So
All
that's
right.
what you have coming up, and you're right about at the hour.
Well, we are doing the bottom brick. Is it next week, Chris? Next Wednesday?
Yes, next
So
Wednesday.
we are doing the bottom brick next Wednesday. You'll love it. I'm sure that you will love it, all of you, because it will give you a demonstration of how we get to the root of a person's issue. You might be a person who's ultra sensitive. You might be a person who's, lacking self confidence. You might be that person who looks at yourself and you hate yourself, or you hate how you look, or whatever it is. We all of us have different issues in our lives. The bottom brick is an exercise which we do live, and we have some wonderful, wonderful people who volunteer. If you want to be a volunteer, again, email and say that you want to be a volunteer for the bottom brick. But we get what we do with the bottom brick, we get to the seed, the core, the beginning, the start of whatever the issues we have. Why are we so self-conscious? Why are we stuttering? Why do we have low self-esteem? We get to the root, the very seed of the issue, and it's such a healing exercise. It's amazing. I think almost everybody who's done the bottom brick with me, has benefited from it and become better, and more and stronger and so on. So please, watch that when we do that, not this week, but next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Same way you're connecting with me today, Restream is the same way. And also, if you want to check it out, go to the website because there are some examples of the bottom break on the website, people who have volunteered, and you'll see how it works. That's it for today. I think I'm afraid to say we're up time. Our healing sessions usually take sort of just a half an hour, but it looks as if these tutorials might take a little longer. We've been on the hour this time, so I'd like to say thanks to Chris for giving that extra time. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and I would especially like to thank Grey Eagle, who, without his help and without his guidance, we can't do a thing. So I can't do a thing anyway. So I'd like to say thank you to him. So please, everybody, thank you very much for joining us today. We will be back on Thursday for our Thursday morning show, 11 a.m. Come with your questions ready. When the questions dry out, I stop. Just saying, just letting you know. It's an interactive show. So please join us 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, same time as this morning. And until I see you again, please, everybody, have a very, very blessed rest of the day. Have a very blessed healing day, healing week even, until I see you again.